Okay, we picked up a hunting camera, a DRT Extreme, 8 megapixels, 65-foot illumination range, less than 3/4 of a second trigger speed. It comes with an 8 gigabyte card. There's the card here. It comes with 8 AA batteries. Mossy Oak Breakup Infinity. I think that's just the design here, the camouflage. Made by Wildgame Innovations. Resolution images 8 megapixels. That's the quality, you know. The more megapixel, the clearer the picture. Video HD 720. 1020 is the best right now. 720 is pretty good. Of course, there's more. There's 720. I think it's 1080, and then it goes up to 4K. But 720 is good. Same thing in front. JPEG format for the pictures, and the video is AVI. Aspect ratio 16:9. That's full screen, like on your computer screen. Memory up to 32 gig. Class 4 or above. So that's the card. That was kind of disappointing when I just saw that. It's up to 32 gig, but they only give you an 8 gig card. So that's kind of a disappointment. Class 4 card. These cards have different classes. I think class 4 is like the standard. So 8 gigabyte, you know, you can store 1,000 or more snapshots. So, you know, video, it could fill that up kind of quick, but for the most part, you know, you'd never be able to fill it up with just snapshots. It'd take a long time. So. Mounting, bungee cord. That's another language here. Date and time stamp. 1 year limited warranty. It says Grand Prairie, Texas, 800-847-8269. WildGameInnovations.com. Model TX8I 39DE2-9. MDL, or model number TX8I 39DE2-9. So it normally sells for $69. It was on sale for $39. So. Okay, so let's chop this open. Try not to break it. It would help if I had, break it the first day. It'd be nice if we had a sharp knife. We need a new blade in that cutter. Actually, you get more cuts with a dull blade, just for that reason. You can't cut something and you're pushing, and then you end up cutting yourself.
Should use a knife over here.
Well, you should have said that. You should have said that a minute ago. Too late now. See, they package them up so you can't take them apart and steal them. Can't stand in the store and do this. Jesus. Owner of the company never had to open one. What's all this stuff down here? Oh, this is terrible. Don't break the card. Only time in my life I had to worry about breaking a card. It's taped in the back so it won't even slide out. You believe that? It's taped in there. Aggravation. Sure isn't a pleasing experience. Oh, real secure bungee cord here.
I thought it'd be a great big wide strap.
You'd think. Raccoon would pull it right off a tree. Oh, there's something to eat.
You have to use your own bungee cords.
Something to eat. Okay, it looks like there's a manual here. Do not return product to store. Yeah, right. One of these goofy manuals that opens up to a full page.
Printed so small you can't read it.
Okay, it feels pretty light. That looks like it would go on a tripod. Bungee cords would go on here, go around the tree.
Or you need bigger ones than that to go around a tree.
I suppose you could put big screws through here and just screw it right on the tree.
Will your own bungee cords fit on that, those holes?
So there's a spot for 4 batteries, and then there's probably one down at the other end too. There's some controls. Off, on, or that's power button. Plus, minus, enter. That must be how you set the date. Turn it on, then set the date. Maybe all 8 batteries go in there. Let's see how deep that is. You can't really see, it's dark down there. So all 8 batteries must go in there, because I don't see any other place to open it. They have directions on how to put the batteries. Oh yeah, they're saying here 2 batteries in each one, and they got arrows. Okay, so we'll figure out how it works and do another video. See ya. Bye. Okay, so let's see if we can get this to work. I was supposed to experiment with it, and I never got around to it.
You were supposed to read the paper ahead of time so you know what you were doing. Why don't you do that? You only got to read that one side.
I ain't got time. Okay. Okay, so we'll put the batteries in. So they have a diagram down here on how the batteries go. And then they also have it up here. So let's see here. you put them both in the same way here. Copper first, and then down on this side, copper first, and then here, flat side in first, flat side in first. So flat side is minus, is negative. The copper side is positive. Got a little plus sign here. So that's why it says minus. Minus goes first. Minus goes first. Okay, so it's on. And then we got the card. This is the card that came with it. 8 megabytes, or
This is crazy.
8 gigabytes is plenty. It's, you know, of course, bigger is always better. But you know, if someone steals it off the tree, you know, you're only losing an 8 gig card instead of a more expensive card. So these things are always a little tricky on how to put them in. So there's a little diagram here, and you can see the notch. It's notched up in the top left corner. So I'm thinking it goes in like this. So you just try it one way. If it don't go in, you try it the other way. It should push in and snap. Okay, see how it snapped in there? See, if we try to do it this way, it won't even go in. See? Okay. So if we try it this way, it won't even go in. Okay. Okay, piece of cake. Now we have to turn it on and set the date and time. Okay. So you can see right here, there's some controls here, power button, plus, minus, and the enter key. Okay, so we'll turn the power on here. Okay, so we'll turn the power on here. How does it say to turn on the power?
Press the button. Press the button. A crazy setup for those batteries.
Yeah, okay, I think the batteries are in backwards.
Okay, what they're showing here is
okay, so let's see if we can get this working here. We open it here. Here's where we put the batteries. So these are marked here, and then there's a diagram over here that show you how to put the batteries in. So I'm thinking plus signs go up. Plus, 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 and then minus is on top here. Okay. And then the card, if you look right here, there's a little diagram of a card. One corner is notched. You just put that in there and push it till it clicks. See? Then if you want to take it out, you just push it in a little bit and it pops back out. You can't put it in wrong. If you try to put it in the other way, it won't go at all. So if it don't work one way, just try it the other way. You can't hurt it. Just don't force it. You know, it should slide right in. Okay. And then you've got these buttons here. Power button, plus, minus, and the enter key. So turn the power on. That red light comes on to show that the power is on. And we got this the red light comes on to show the power is on, and then we get a display here. The power goes out, or the display goes off in a couple seconds if you don't mess with it. So on this side here, it says time, date, photos, and image. Time, date, photos, and image. And then right next to it, you can see that little triangle. That means we're working with the top item. Okay, so the triangle is up on top. You can see the triangle next to time, date. We use the minus key to go down one. So now we're working on the photos menu. Press it again. Now we're working on the image. Okay, and then there's settings under each one of those. Okay, so the triangle is on. Okay, so the triangle is on time, date. So now we want to go in and set the time and the date. We'll press enter, and you see it starts to flash here. Okay, so to go into time and date, press the enter key, and the time starts to flash. So then we go up, it's 3:50. So we go up, and you can see it's on AM. You can see up here it's on AM. So we just have to keep going. Okay, now we're 10 AM, 12, now we're on noon. 1, 2, 3. Then we press the enter key again, and the minutes start to flash. And we can probably go backwards here. So this one will make the minutes go the other way. This one will make it go backwards. So now we're at 3:50 p.m. Press the enter key. Now it's saying what's the date, month and day. So this is what?
7.
Huh?
Today's August 7th.
I don't even remember what month it is. August is 8, right? And then press enter key, and then it's the 7th. And then I pressed the enter key again, and the year started. It automatically moved over to the year. I pressed the enter key again, and now it went to 0003. Okay, so now we're on photos, and it's automatically showing me how many pictures are on the SD card. So it must be taking pictures because now it's at 6 pictures. So it must be taking pictures of us as we work on it. It says still and video. Still means pictures. So if we want to move it over to video, let's see here. Keeps shutting off on me here. Okay, so power's on. Little triangle is up on the top one, time date. Use the minus sign. Now it goes down to photo. Shows we have 8 pictures. Move it down again. It shows we're on images. Now here, what we want to do is choose between pictures or video. What do we want it to do? Do we want this to take pictures? They call them stills. Or do we want it to take video? And you can see still is highlighted. It's got a little square around it. If we press the enter key, the still starts to blink. When it starts to blink, we can move it back and forth. We can move it over to video. Press minus sign, it goes over to video. So now it'll take video. So press the enter key to lock that in, and now it's set up to do video. I can't see the display. I can't see the arrow. Okay, so let's run through this again. Turn the power on. You don't have to hold it down, just press it. There's a little arrow to show you what menu you're working on. Time, date. It shows the settings over here. If you move the arrow down to photos, all that does is display that there's 6 photos on the card. Press the minus sign again, and now the arrow is blinking at images, and we can see we're set up for video. Press the minus sign again, and it goes back up to time, date. I'm guessing because I can't really see it. Okay, photos. So let's see here. To set the time, date again, press enter. Hours start the flash. You can change it here, up or down. It's only 4, so we'll put that down to 4. Press the enter key, it moves over to the minutes. Press the enter key, it goes over to the month and date. August. Press the enter key, it'll go over to the day. And it's the 7th, right? So we'll make this go up 1. So there's the date. Press the enter key again. Now it's asking what year it is. It's automatically guessing 2019. Okay. Press the enter key and it's done. It automatically moved down to photos, showing us there's 8 photos now. It must be taking pictures because the power's on. We haven't seen any flash. It must only flash at night. I think it's an invisible flash, but I'm not sure on that. We'll have to check on that. Press the minus sign. Now we're down to image. If we want to move that, press the enter key. So the video, the line around video starts to blink. We can move that over to still. Now we have a blinking line around still. Still means still pictures, just regular pictures. Press the enter key to lock that in, and we're good to go. Okay, so the power's on. So I guess, so if you want to look at the pictures, you just take the card out and put it in your computer, or if you have a card reader. Let's see here. says connect the SD card to your computer. If your computer has a SD slot, you can insert SD card slot directly into the port. If you're using micro SD card, you will need an adapter to fit into your SD port. If you are using a micro SD card, you will need an adapter to allow it to fit into standard SD card ports. If your computer does not have an SD card port built in, you can use an external USB card reader and plug it into any USB port on your computer. Okay, it doesn't say anything about having to turn it off before taking out the card. That's what I was wondering about.
Over there.
Where?
Somewhere. I
Where?
thought I saw it somewhere.
What? Yeah.
But turning it off before you take out the card or something.
Okay.
Is it on the end? And of course you need a magnifying glass to read the directions because they printed them so small.
Okay, yeah. Here it says, make sure the camera is powered off before removing or installing an SD card. If you are using an SD card from other cameras, please make sure to format the SD card in your computer prior to use in your camera. New cards are okay to use straight from the package. Okay, so make sure the power's off before you pull the card out. Okay, mounting. When mounting to a tree, first latch the two bungee cords through the mounting holes. Then stretch the cord around the tree to latch the other ends of the bungee cords through the mounting holes. So I guess you have to use a little tree. Can't put it on a big tree.
Unless you want to get some more bungee cords and use them too.
So here it says recommended distance from large target is 25 to 30 feet. For optimal image quality, to improve quality of your image, try not to mount the unit facing the rising or setting sun in order to avoid direct sunlight into the camera lens. We'll read that one again. To improve the quality of your images, try not to mount the unit facing the rising or setting sun. So you don't want the sun to be going into the lens here.
Well, it's going to have to face wherever we want to put it.
Yeah. The mounting to the feeder unit or dusty environment. If mounting to a feeder unit or dusty environment, be sure to clean the camera lens cover, incandescent flash cover, and PIR sensor cover on a regular basis. So I guess that's this stuff here. Periodically check the mounting of the camera to ensure it's not loose. Make sure that you securely latch the door. Check batteries frequently. Okay. So there's 15 pictures now, so it must be taking pictures of us doing.
It's going to use up
doing
the whole
this.
card, isn't it?
No, it should be able to handle like 1,000 pictures or more. An 8 gig card should hold plenty of pictures. So there's no problem there.
So by the time you get it set up, you've got a whole bunch of pictures out of yourself on it.
Well, you just turn the power off, you know, and then bring it out to wherever you're going.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take this outside and strap it on a tree here. Okay, so we're just gonna strap it on here. We're just kind of doing a test here to see if it works. I'm just guessing at how to mount it too. I was just gonna put a couple screws in here. You know, if you're putting it on a tree, you could just use some big deck screws. So that should hold it. I'm just hoping it doesn't take 1,000 pictures of the flag floating around here. Okay, see ya. Bye. Okay, so it's been hanging out there. It's been outside on that 2x4 for almost 24 hours. Let's check it out here. Okay, so press this one. It displays the screen. We'll go down, and it says press the minus sign to go down. It says 328 pictures. Okay, so let's turn the power off here. Just hold the button down for a while. Hold this button down for a while. Power goes out. Red light goes off. That's how you know it's off. Then it's safe to take the card out. Just push in a little bit. Okay. And then we'll go put that in the computer. Okay, so if your computer has one of these slots, you can just slide it in one of these slots here and it should come up. Okay. Those slots on my computer don't work all that great, you know. So I use one of these. It's just an adapter. The card slides in here one way or the other. And then that goes into your USB port. See, and then you come over and just slide that in there. Okay, then you just come over to a USB port, put it in there. Okay, so then you come over to your computer, click on here, and you should see it here. It says the flashcard reader. Oh, shoot. Okay, so then we come over, put the card in the computer, USB slot. Then you should get a pop-up like this. Click on there. You'll get this guy. This is just Microsoft being helpful. Say open folder. Okay, so there's the folder. So it looks just like a camera folder. There's our media folder. And there's our pictures. You can see down here 328 pictures. If you don't get that pop-up, come over to this PC, and one of these guys will be your USB drive. See here, this one's the USB. It's a 8 gig. card. With those cards you always lose a little bit, so here it's saying 7.39, but that's really an 8 gig card, and we only used up a little bit here. So you can see 328 pictures, it barely used anything. Okay, it used what? It used let's see here. If we right click on here, go to properties, 328 megs, which is nothing. 1000 megs is a gigabyte. So if you do the math there, see, 308 megabytes in those pictures. 1000 megabytes is a gig. We've got 8 gigs, so we actually have 8,000 megabytes. So you can see that card will hold a lot of pictures. So that was 1 day's worth, and I was working out in the yard and stuff like that. So here's probably all kind of silly pictures. Okay, so I created a folder on my desktop. Here's our card. Here's the folder on the card. Left click or right click and drag, and we'll copy it. So it's copying to my desktop. So now that folder with the pictures is on my desktop. Click on here and we can open it here. So you can, it takes a while to open here. So here's the pictures, and over on the side here we should get a it's not showing me a little arrow here. Okay, so when you open a photo, you get this little arrow here that you can scroll through your pictures. See what's going on. So you can see it was taking pictures the whole time we were setting it up here. Okay, now we're outside, putting it on the thing, so it's taking pictures. See, everybody that went by, it caught them. See that? You can tell it's your card because it says this PC on the USB drive. There's that folder. We can just right click on that folder and go delete. And that's all there is to it. Okay, and then to take that card out, what you would do is right click on here, or click on here, left click, and say eject the card reader. Don't just go over and yank it out, you know. You got to turn it off here first and then pull it out of the slot. One more thing, if you want, one more thing, you know, if you want, you can come back over to C colon here. This is this PC. There's the card, right? The card's empty now. If you want, you can right click on here and go format the card. Okay, but some devices are kind of picky on the different types of formatting, so I'm not gonna mess with this one. You know, the Windows formatting should work, you know, but since this card's working, I deleted the files off here. I'm not gonna mess around with it, so it works. But That's how you would format it. There's the card. Right click and go format the card. Then you get a pop-up here, and you can do a quick format. Is usually good enough. It takes like a second, you know. Here's the size of the card, the type of file system on the card. That's the thing where it might get a little tricky. There's different types of formatting. The card is formatted FAT 32. NTFS is like a more secure, newer type of Microsoft formatting. So the exFAT is a Microsoft formatting for USB drives and SD cards. It's like a proprietary thing for Microsoft. So for this camera, I'm not sure if it would work or not. So you know, it's always safe. You know, FAT is the old-fashioned formatting that's been around forever. So that's always safe. You know. So, but like I said, I'm not gonna mess around with the formatting. It's usually no big deal. You know, it usually works, but sometimes you can eject them from here too. See, if you right click here and do eject, that's the same as clicking here and going eject on here. Sometimes it doesn't show up here. Sometimes the eject doesn't show up here. Sometimes the eject doesn't show up here. You know exactly why, I don't know. Each device works a little different. So on this one we can eject them from either spot. So okay, so sometimes you get a little pop-up that says, okay, it's safe to pull out. Okay, so we're good to go. See ya. Bye.